Oh, man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is. Tuesday. Brewsday Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah! It's Brewsday Tuesday time with DreZ and Huck.
I'm not even going to fake it.
Not even going to. It is Brewsday Tuesday, the first of the new year. Happy New Year, Huck.
Happy New Year to you, DreZ.
So one of our New Year's resolutions, is it New Year resolution or is it New Year's resolution?
New Year's resolution, I think.
I mean, I think I always say New Year's resolution, but I think it's actually New Year, right?
Right.
Because it's not a New Year's.
It's for the New Year's. For the New Year.
It's for the New Year.
I don't know. We should maybe look that up.
I don't know.
Funkin' Wagon.
Well, one of the things we should do is do more research.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that.
But one of the things we've been talking about is trying to have more people in, which I think we're off to a good start because actually in the next segment, Mike from Bouse Point is going to be joining us. And I do believe next week, perhaps, we're going to have somebody from Parkway coming in, man. So far, we're starting the new year off right. But first things first, we've been talking about it the last few weeks. You've been brewing something special that I've been looking forward to trying.
Yes.
And,
yes.
And it's finally here.
Yep. So I decided to make a pretty big beer, a Tripel. It's always a challenge when you're going after a big old beer, it's really not ready. It's really not right. But I brought it in because I think we're going to do a little talking about home brewing and how in the end, no matter what happens, it's still okay.
It'll be okay. So yeah, I know. I mean, really, the reason why we're drinking is because we thought it'd be done by now, and we didn't really have anything else.
Didn't have a backup.
Didn't really have a backup. But that's one of the things. I guess when it comes to homebrew, you can't rush it either.
No, you can't. And this beer, it's a triple style, which is our favorite.
Which, by the way, a Belgian triple. There's a Belgian.
Right.
Is there just Belgian, and then there's a Belgian double?
There's a
triple
single,
and a quad.
Double, triple, and quad.
Okay, and triple, yeah, it's generally
that's
what I like. You know, the Golden Monkey. What are some other popular triples?
Oh, I mean, we had the red, white, and blue. Oh, who was that?
Shiraz?
No. But they were. That's a big one. Let me look that up.
I think I might be thinking of the quad. Because actually for Christmas, my cousin got me the German, like the Shiraz, which is a blue beer, which I had before. And I think that was the red, white, and blue that we did.
The one I was talking about is, and I can't find it. Give me a minute. But anyway, so I decided to make this beer because I like a big beer as our famous style, and it's supposed to be made for our Christmas showy, and now we're at New Year's, and it's still not ready. What happened was it didn't fully attenuate, which means the sugars in it didn't turn entirely to alcohol. So it's supposed to come down to a specific gravity of like 1.18 and ended up at 1.31, which is like 13 basis points off. So it's about a percentage sweeter than it should be, or a tenth of a percentage.
Okay. So all right, so you're talking about sugars doing what now?
Well, the yeast eat the sugar and they poop out the alcohol.
Okay.
That's what happens. So they eat sugar, poop alcohol.
And so they just didn't get enough time to eat the sugar.
They got tired, or they didn't have enough time, or it was been cold. And so, I have a little warmer thing that goes on the carboy, but the carboy is
brewing it in in
the shop. So it's kind of wintry.
Not really, yeah.
Well, I don't think it gets above 65 or so in there.
So okay, so you're saying that maybe the yeast didn't eat enough of the sugar and poop out the alcohol. Does that mean this is a lower ABV than it should be?
Right, but it started higher than it should have, and this is the one I think I added 3 pounds extra malt. So it started 2 percentage points higher. So it's probably a little higher in alcohol. It's probably still around an 8.
So extra malt means extra alcohol?
Yeah, malt is sugar. Malt is beer sugar.
So the more sugar, the more alcohol.
Right. But malt is sugar. So malt is grain that started to go, and then they boil it down and make it into a syrup. And it's really, really sticky and sweet.
So if you made a beer with Whoppers, those malt balls, it's going to be really high ABV because you're using a lot of malt.
Yeah, and this actually has like candy sugar in it. Like there's a little white.
It's definitely pretty sweet.
Yeah. But okay, Chimay was the one I was looking for. That's probably the best.
That's what I said.
Triple.
Isn't that what I said? Chimay?
I don't know. And St. Barnabas makes one that's good.
I said Shiraz. I meant Chimay.
Right. And West Mall makes a good one. This is a clone of the Carmelet. And Unibrow makes a good one. But this clone is actually of the Carmelet Triple, which is an actual Belgian brewery.
Okay.
So the second thing that happened was I keg my beer, which is usually easy. You put it in a keg, you slam the CO2 to it, and 3 days later, it's carbonated. Well, now we're like 6 or 7 days later, and it's still not fully carbonated. So this beer's a little flat.
And is that because of the cold, do you think?
Because it's in a refrigerator. I think my pressure, I have two different sides to my CO2. I'm a little more complicated than most people. One side is at a higher pressure than the other side, but usually, I guess I should have put this beer on the higher side because Belgian beers are usually more fizzy, which I did today when I pulled this out. I went ahead and swept it over the higher side, and I'm going to check it again tomorrow.
So it might be better. Yeah. And you said it usually takes, 6 days?
2 days, 3 days.
2 days, okay. So it should be good in a day or two. Then,
I mean, just as an aside for people out there that are thinking about kegging their beer, a lot of people go, well, you can force keg it, and basically you run the pressure up to 30 pounds, and every 2 or 3 hours you go in there and shake it, and in 12 hours it's carbonated. But you've been shaking the beer for 12 hours, A, and B, you don't know if you're going to end up with 12 or 18 or 8 or 22. You don't know. You have no idea. It's just, I'd rather put it at what you want it and wait the 3 or 4 days because that works better. But in this case, I think the pressure dropped down. The pressure looked like it was about 6 or 7, and it needs to be 11 or 12. So,
okay.
But it's not bad. I mean,
no, this is definitely drinkable. Now, I mean, I'm assuming, are we the first people to try this?
Yeah,
right now?
Other people have tasted. Whitney had before it was carbonated.
Okay.
Because a couple of people have tasted it, like when it first came, they were there. People were there helping me make it. So we taste it before it has any alcohol. Then we taste it at the halfway point when it has a certain amount of alcohol. And then we taste it when we put it in the keg where it has a little more alcohol. And I tasted it the other day at Christmas to see if it was ready, and it wasn't.
So what ABV is this right now? Do you know?
8.1.
Okay.
But it should have been 9.4 or so.
Okay. So
it made it all the way.
Gotcha.
To target.
So, but that's a done deal now. It's just trying to get the carbonation.
Right. I mean, it may, if I left it in there for 2 months, it may get another 0.5%, but it isn't going to do much. It's now cold, and the yeast aren't so happy when it's cold.
I got you.
If I want to take it out and leave it on CO2 and let it come to room temperature, it might ferment a little further.
Okay. So, but what I was getting at was with us being the first try, I'm assuming this is not on Untapped yet.
No, I've not.
So
put it
we
there.
can't officially untap it, but we can still untap it like we usually do.
I can add it like I usually do.
Okay.
And we can untap
it. Does it have a name?
I'm just going to call it Huck's Big Ass Triple.
Huck's Big Ass Triple. There you go.
I was going to call it Huck's Big Ass Christmas Triple. I guess I'll call it Huck's Big Ass New Year's Triple.
Yeah, New Year's Triple.
So that's what I'm going to name it.
All right, fair enough. So, well, I guess I would say check it out on tap. Try it. But chances are you won't get the chance to try it. Get it, Eddie Boo Boo.
Nah, you never know.
But yeah, man, I mean, for a home brew, and this is your what, 45th?
55th.
55th?
Yeah, 54th, 55th.
So
55th.
You've had a few runs at this.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm sure if it was up to you, we would not be drinking this on the air, critiquing it right now.
I'm not really that. It doesn't bother me. I don't really make beer for other people. I make beer for me, and this one doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck.
Doesn't suck.
It does not suck. I will. Congratulations, Huck. Your beer does not suck.
Exactly.
Your goal is a met.
It's like my mom used to say at dinner, come and complain about it.
Dinner, come complain about it. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, and you'll be the first to admit it. I'm not trying to, rip your beer apart. There is a couple things to improve. And, yeah, I think the carbonation is the big one. You do see a little fizz there.
There's a little.
But, I mean, there is, zero lacing, no head. Which I guess that, like you said, a CO2 issue that you're having there. Hopefully that can be remedied. But otherwise, man, flavor-wise, it's not bad. You're saying it's a little sweeter than it should be, which leads to less alcohol, but I tend to like sweeter stuff. Like wines, I tend to like sweeter wines. I like sweeter beers.
Well, about 3 years ago, I made a Mad Elf, and it really didn't attenuate. And instead of being, it was like supposed to be 14%, it was like 9%. And that was like drinking cherry syrup. And that being said, I took it to a party and everybody drank it all.
Oh, everybody's going to drink it.
But it was like really drinking a cherry Coke.
Yeah,
But
which can be nice. It can be nice on occasion.
yeah, it wasn't bad. It just, but the year before I had made it, it came out. It's almost exactly the same as theirs. But this year that year there was no comparison.
All right, well, I'm going to take one more sip, and I'm going to untap it, which is the way we like to rate our beers. It's a free beer app you can download to your mobile device, Android, iPhone, it doesn't matter. DreZ Drinks is my handle. Hucks Beer Buzz is his. You can, check in your beer, give it a rating on a 1 to 5 scale, and,
Take a big drink and see what you think.
honestly, if it had the right carbonation, this has 5 potential in my book. Obviously, that's not the case. But the question is how much do you knock off for it? I'm thinking it's a 4.25.
Okay, that's fair enough.
What do you think?
I'm about with you on that. I think this beer, flavor-wise, is good.
Very good flavor.
I think that I'm going to dock it for the sweet, being too sweet. It's not what I was looking for on a flavor profile, but it's close. And it's actually a good beer. So 4.25 is probably fair.
Okay.
And I think if we carbonate it up, might get it to 4.5. But I don't think this beer would be a 5 for me.
Wouldn't be 5 worth.
Not for me.
I think. Well, I'm taking into consideration the fact that you brewed it yourself, which is badass.
Yeah.
You gotta throw that factor in there.
And you know what? It's a lot of fun brewing beer.
Yeah.
It really is. It takes a little bit of time, but it's like, people who say they cook for fun. I make beer for fun.
There you go. Well, if you want more info, or perhaps you're thinking about doing some brewing, I bet Huck would be happy to give you some pointers if you want to reach out.
I think I got some YouTube videos out there about it.
Oh, okay, cool. Definitely check that out. Speaking of YouTube, you can also check out our show on the YouTube. And speaking of which, we're going to continue, but what we're going to do is going to play a song, and then we're going to welcome Mike from Ball's Point.
Oh, boy.
Who is going to be coming in the studio, because, there's a little something new, a brewing at Ball's Point here in the Commonwealth.
That's right.
Did you know about that? You'll find out more after this. Brewsday Tuesday continues. Stick around.